and checking in to see how everyone is. If anyone's got any questions or anything, go for it. I am literally at your disposal if there is something you want to ask. I love my conversations with the universe, so I always love it. Oh, Juliet, my beautiful girl. Oh, I've missed our chats. So good to see you. Oh, how are you? Tell me how you're going. But yeah, love my chats with my beautiful conscious friends and chats with the universe. Really, I can't say that my conversations with the universe are much more exciting when I'm given new content to try and download. Hello, beautiful. Thanks for hanging out. Good to see you. Gosh, I love all the photos that you do too. So good to see you, sweetie pie. Very good. But yeah, so I need some like fresh questions. I need some really cool stuff. You love my beach. Actually, after this, I'm going to pop down to the beach and take some new photos. I haven't been down for a little while at this time of day, so go and check it out, take some photos. I might even do a quick live down there. I'll see how I go, whatever comes up. But yeah, so I always love new content. The conversations with the universe, to be honest, I actually get a kick out of them because I learn so much new stuff. But it's actually really cool to get fresh questions. Again, this is one of the reasons why I'm actually going around and doing all the live workshops, is because I really want to receive more information. I want to know more about life on Earth and life in the universe, and just how much more we can learn. Who loves learning? We all love learning. So I just love learning more. And we are all seekers here of truth and information. And to be honest, when we're using this universal platform, it's endless what we can receive out of it. So I welcome any questions because that's the way that we grow and we learn, and that's why we're here. Light language. Oh, Juliet, I love you. I'll tell you exactly what's coming through around light language. Actually, and this is the message I've been receiving. I received it a lot years ago, but kind of forgot about it until I was reminded yesterday. Everything is about energy. So if you look at light language actually has more of an energy. So it's more the energy of the light language that you're connecting with. And what's also coming through is that light language can telepathically speak to you without actually using words. Does that make sense? That sounds really out there for some people who aren't used to this kind of conversation. It's interesting because I have really juicy conversations with lots of people, and I wish that I could share with people just how juicy these conversations can really be. So it's all about energy, my love. And it's pretty much, I don't know what's coming through. I mean, I'd love to hear what you think, but it's like a telepathic communication. I don't know how light language telepathically communicates with you, but it does through energy. Okay. That's good. I hope that all makes sense. That's what came through. Little Kimmy sitting here on the planet knows nothing about it, but that's just what I've received. So definitely, and what's coming through as well is that there will be a lot more of that happening. I get, and then I'm here, well, it's already happening, Kim. So get used to it. So it's definitely a really beautiful way, especially for people of a certain consciousness. That's just the best way. Jean-Marie, hello, beautiful, nice to see you. Definitely light language is just all energy and telepathic communication, and it's not actually the only thing that's used like here on this planet. It's actually something that's used universally. So it's just like if, for example, the difference between English and Chinese or Italian or whatever, if that makes sense. It's just another way of communication. So it's probably something that we've not really tuned into before, because not a lot of people can access it because it is a very high vibration energy. If you have access to light language, that just means that it resonates more with your energy, and it is something that you can not only communicate with anything in the universe around, but you can also communicate with other people on the planet who resonate with that energy of the light language. So I hope that helps. Also, a lot of universal concepts we can't really make sense of in this kind of physical arena. Jean-Marie Helen, my love, it's trying to catch some knowledge. Well, I just learned about light language, which was very interesting. Love it, babies and birds respond to it. Juliet, that's really interesting. You know what, that actually, I can feel the energy around babies resonating with it. Can you look into that a bit more? Because that feels really true and feels really strong, like it's kind of hit me in the chest. Tell me more about that, because that could be a new way of humans or people connecting to babies and helping to keep babies' energies vibrating much higher. I personally, in this human body, don't know much about light language, so I'd love for you to share a little bit more about that. I definitely think from a baby's perspective, that would actually be amazing if babies were brought into the world, because they do resonate with that quite highly. There is also, as well as birds, there's something else that fish apparently resonate with light language as well, and that's another way of them communicating with us. The babies I've spoken to in it still speak to me for words like wind and tree. I think you should really look into that a little bit further. And also, apparently, the fish want to speak to you too. I don't know, go to a fish tank or something and speak to fish in light language, because they love light language. Yes, fish too. Oh, God. Okay, good. Light language. But really, I think from a human perspective, if babies could be brought into the world speaking light language or understanding it, oh my God, these beautiful children coming through in this next incarnation is going to be amazing. I talked to them in the Pacific. I think I don't know, maybe you could also get the perspective of the fish that aren't in the Pacific, and the ones that are actually like in, what do you want to call it, like fish tanks or something like that. Again, just to get their perception, because they're not out in that free world. It'll be good to actually find out what their perception is about being in a tank, and to see, you know, how they think and feel around all of that. So, but the thing around babies, I think that would be something that could be really powerful for parents to be able to not only communicate with their babies, but just to keep them in that high vibration as they're coming through. Juliet, I think I'd love to hear a lot more about this light language. So that'd be great if you can share definitely around the babies, because or even the wisdom from, you know, the birds and the fish. There's definitely some more information that a lot of people can get from those. So definitely, whatever you receive, I think if you could share that would be awesome. Again, whatever platform feels right for you, because some people might not understand, but it's definitely a thing, and definitely something that can actually help everyone, especially if we're moving more into a resonance of working with animals on the planet, and also the babies. So, Jean-Marie, I'll try and share some knowledge. I have had some really good chats with some people today on various platforms and things like that. I'll look for a video. There's one of me speaking with a sea lion in light language. I'd like to see that one. So yeah, that'd be awesome. So a lot of people say to me, oh, you know, how can we shift ourselves from one way of being? Oh, thank you, Julia. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for allowing me to receive that information, because I learn so much. And, you know, again, this is why I want to do more conversations with the universe, is because I learn so much more. I love being a continual learner. Like, people say that I'm a spiritual teacher, but I say, no, I'm a spiritual learner. I'm just here to learn as much as possible. And I can't actually go into areas that are new unless I get, you know, more information coming from other people, because there's some questions that, you know, I might not need to know that other people do need to know. And I can learn more about that, especially, asking a question about light language. I would never know that before. So I love that, and I love sharing that. But also, everything comes down to, like everything on this planet, everything in the universe just comes down to energy and consciousness. Like a lot of people say, how can I move from one place to another? How can I, shift out of where I am? If you really could connect to like how you feel, and feelings are deeply connected to energy. When you want to change something, I would always start to embrace the feelings and embracing the thoughts. The thoughts and the feelings are our keys to enlightenment. That's one of the 5 keys, two of the 5 keys to enlightenment. So if we can really connect to our thoughts and our feelings, they take us directly to our soul and the universe. And this is the work I've been doing over the last 6 months or so, which has been amazing to see the direct connection. So I feel really sad that there are a lot of people on the planet suffering with their thoughts and their feelings, because every time I work with someone around their thoughts or their feelings, we get, like, when we allow them and go into them, we actually get direct access to the soul, and what the soul tells us is actually true for each person. Again, like, some people are unsure if what is true is true or right, or what they should be doing or whatever. Everyone has a different pathway, and every person's soul will have a different answer to the same questions. So this is where there's no like real standard of shoulds or have tos or anything like that. And even in these forums, a lot of people will say, oh, should I be doing this? Well, what should I be doing about that, or whatever? When you tune into your soul, you always will get information about your next steps. And the way to get access to your soul is through your thoughts and your feelings. It's crazy. And there's so much that we can learn from our physical, like even our physical reactions. So whatever, if there's a physical issue, a health issue or whatever, that also gives us a direct link to our soul. So there's actually a really close affinity to our bodies, our feelings and our thoughts, and getting access to that soul wisdom. So I'm trying to share as much of this as possible so that we can all get access to this, because again, when people say, oh, it's all within you, that doesn't really make sense to a lot of people. So if you could just tune into your thoughts and your feelings and what your body is telling you, you will always get access to more information. You'll get access to your soul, and you will actually get the answers from within you. It's just a matter of really acknowledging that they're very powerful. And again, in this day and age, so many of us are struggling with our thoughts, our negative thoughts, struggling with our negative feelings, and struggling with our physical issues. These 3 areas are massive connections to our souls that we can't ignore anymore. Our thoughts and our feelings and our bodies are telling us you need to listen. So again, if I can try and show as many people as possible how to do that, and that's through the keys of enlightenment, how to go through those processes, it's actually really powerful to use that continually from now on, where you won't be looking externally for the answers of what you need to know. You'll always keep tuning within you. So if you're stuck anywhere, or if you feel like you're not moving forward, or you really want to grow, it is our natural state to want to keep growing and to keep learning. So when we want to keep learning and keep growing, oh my God, Viviana, big kisses to you, my love. If we want to keep learning and keep growing, it just comes down to energy and consciousness. There is no right or wrong in energy and consciousness. There is only being and what it is. And so when we acknowledge that, it actually brings us straight into this current moment. And what we can do is we can learn so much from energy, vibration, consciousness. And Viviana, I love your love hearts. I can feel them all the way from over there to here. I love you. So definitely thoughts, feelings, and your body are the main connections to your inner self and your soul and the wisdom that exists within there. Then the next step after that is that connection to the greater universe. So it is really self, soul, and universe. So a lot of us are going to try to access this universal consciousness and this universal wisdom and everything else. Even the concept of trying to do it actually is hard. It doesn't actually work when we try to do something. It's all about connecting to these 3 elements: our bodies, our minds, and our feelings. Like they all connect us. Oh gosh, I love you so much, Viviana. You're so beautiful. Thank you. Those three elements, they are one of the 3 of the 5 elements of the keys to enlightenment. And so these are the direct access to your soul. And then when you allow yourself to have that direct access to your soul, you can then get access to higher consciousness. I don't like even saying the word higher consciousness, but that's just what happens sometimes. Again, awareness, whatever you want to call it, and then you can actually get access more to this universal wisdom because it's deeply connected to who you are. Oh, I love you. I love connecting to everyone here, which is why I love doing these lives. Anyone else that wants to ask me a question while I'm here, go ahead. I love questions where I have absolutely no idea to the answer because I just love receiving new information. Again, I am a forever student. I'm always going to be learning and growing, finding out more. And, you know, I love saying I don't actually know, but let me find out for you. And that's, again, what these conversations with the universe are. It's just growth, it's expansion, it's transitioning, transcending, and just using all the accesses that we have to the energy within the universe. Like a lot of people say, oh, you know, what is the universe? The universe is just energy. I like to equate the universe with the air around us. Like, can you feel the air, but you can't see it? There's energy in the air, there's energy within our bodies, there's energy in everything around us. And if you allow yourself to connect to that energy, it has information in it. This is why when people can give me a name of someone, I could literally look into their past, their future, their past lives, their soul's journey, anything else, because their energy carries information. The thing is that we carry this information with us forever. And we always carry this information within our energy, but amnesia actually stops us from getting access to what we actually don't know about ourselves or what we do know about ourselves. And so it kind of makes us feel like that we have no idea. And this is where I think that connection to self is really important. The thoughts, the feelings, the body, like they're all going to connect us to that soul wisdom, super consciousness, whatever you want to call it. So again, I can't stress enough how important being human is on this planet. Like really acknowledging just who we are as a human being, the concept of perfection, of not good enough, of, you know, any of those things just doesn't exist when you play in that consciousness and awareness of, you know, I'm just here in this body having, you know, an experience, and what do I want to experience next? Again, when you're in your body and you're fully in your body, you actually drop out of your head. So you're not using that logic that you've been trained to use or conditioned to use. You're actually fully in your body. And then what you can do from that body is completely access that soul wisdom totally. Viviana, you've got a question for me, my love. Okay. So I am still blocking money and I don't know what to do anymore. I feel I need to be doing something else, but what? The first thing I need to say is there is a feeling in there, and feelings are really important. Feelings are actually your stepping stone to your next steps. So you're right. If you feel like you need to be doing something else, then that's what you are going to be doing, is something else. If you don't know what it is, let me recommend what you can do. And this is where feelings have a direct access to your soul wisdom. So if you want to know what that feeling's telling you, you need to actually feel that feeling. So if that feeling is saying I need to be doing something else, but what, I want you to like kind of just jump into that feeling and allow that feeling to go right through your body and breathe in it and be in it. Be in that feeling of I don't know, but I know that there should be something else. Or that I need to be doing something else, and just sit in that feeling. And then what happens when you're sitting in there, because you're in your body and you're in that feeling and allowing that feeling to be, you've jumped out of your head. So then you can receive, whether it's from your soul or from the universe, you can receive what that thing is. It might come through as a picture, it might come through as a word, it might come through as a memory, it might come through as a thought, it might come through as something, but you will always get access to your next steps. And sometimes, if I can share, Sometimes the next steps don't necessarily look like what we want them to look like. So that's sometimes where it can trip us up and we think that we're making it up. So when you actually say, well, I feel like I need to be doing something else, but I don't know what that is, when you sit in that feeling, apparently I'm going to tell you, that's not really what I do. Well, I can do it. I'll give you a clue, because maybe you might be tripped up with it. So I'm going to do exactly what I've told you to do and give you a little bit of a pointer as to what that is. Okay, what I'm being shown, I get squirmy when I get told things and it's about people's lives and I have no idea, but I'm being shown something about the stars or astrology, just putting it out there. Oh, I'm just told you. But I'm very squirmy about that because I just, touch wood, I've never been wrong, but that's just what's coming through. I see stars and maybe not like standard astrology, but I see something to do with reading the patterns in the stars, if that makes sense. Please tell me if that is actually resonates with you somehow. I've kind of just dealt with what you should, what you need to be doing. That's just what came through. The concept around blocking money, I can tell you, I am the queen of playing with the concept of blocking money, because it's, it's something that so many of us have had to deal with. I always use money as a representation of what's going on within me. So if my money situation is in a certain spot, a certain circumstance, what I always do is I say, okay, so what is that money thing showing me about myself? And I always go in. Yeah, I'm just going to tell you, and I know you've just said, oh, that's hilarious. I'm not an avid astrology person, but I do like stars and astrology. Well, I'm actually telling you it's not astrology as in the standard astrology. I see that it's actually reading patterns in stars, but I see actually more of it's just about the stars. But I definitely know it's not standard astrology. So, and I also believe that you don't need to study this, you need to receive it. I kind of see you going outside and really looking at the stars and receiving more information around it, if you can try and do that, Viviana. I know it's not standard astrology, so don't think that you have to study it or anything else. The astrology, it's kind of like metaphysics. So say, for example, I've got metaphysics books here. So when I'm doing metaphysics with people, I don't actually use the books to get the information. I use the body to tell me what information we need to know, and then I go to the books to confirm it. So I feel like, Viviana, you'll receive information around the stars just by connecting to the energy in the stars. I know it sounds weird, but I'm just showing this for you. And to be honest, I do prefer other people to get that for themselves. But if I'm guided to tell someone, then I'll just do it. And that's what's just happened. So I do feel like that when you look at the stars, or you really kind of soak in the energy of the stars, you will receive more information around them. And it is related to people as well. So what the stars actually mean to people. And I also believe, and being shown, that it's also about our future. So the stars are actually telling us something about our future as a planet. Okay. So Viviana, when you go outside at nighttime, I'm being shown that you get to see a lot of stars where you live. Again, hope I'm right. When you go out there, and you feel into it's almost like when you read the stars, it's almost like reading a palm or something like that. The stars actually will be able to tell you more about either people or situations, but also about the future of the planet. It's written in the stars. I'm going to write that down because I didn't know that. The future of the planet is written in the stars. So I wonder if is that true? Anyone wants to jump in and say, is that true? I also do believe that, the future of the planet is a lot dependent upon us and our consciousness. because the planet is also an evolving being as much as we are. So, but definitely feel into the energy of what the stars are wanting to tell you. You've really got to be a clear channel for that too. So you've got to really completely get out of your head and just receive what you need to know. And again, like, please keep me posted. I'd love to hear how you go around that. But yeah, the future of the planet's written in the stars. That's what I'm told. That's what you can get access to. I have heard that, all written in the stars. Okay. But you'll be able to find that out just simply by getting out of your head and then connecting to the stars when you go outside. So, and it doesn't actually, like, you don't have to actually move or go anywhere to be able to access that information. Just where you are is fine. And yeah, I'd love to see what you receive. I wouldn't mind actually doing some of that myself as well, going out and seeing this, like, if the stars can actually give us information. I've never actually realized that that's something that we can do, but it makes sense that we could go outside and, you know, feel into the energy of the sky, and the sky can give us information. I mean, if I get information from the universe, why can't we get it from the sky? Okay, I think, and apparently a lot of philosophers and prophecies are written this way, and a lot of the prophecies are actually true. The thing is, they can actually change, just like any psychic readings or things like that. They can change as well through making different decisions. But I think by actually knowing the prophecies that come through, it will actually help to actually change some of our patterns that it's just through, again, awareness and consciousness. And it all just comes back down to us having that. So I'm just going to jump back. Jean-Marie says, something is when, summarization is when a feeling takes material form into an illness and stops communication with the universe. So we must stop to ask what is unresolved. Also, it's just about, like, it's all about the feelings. Hopefully that makes sense. The feelings will always show us, and the feelings are deeply connected to our own energy. So this is where, anything, I mean, illness is always something that's manifested over. And I don't say manifested as attracted, I mean manifested within, growing within for a long time, especially, something that is quite if you want to call it a severe illness. I don't use the word manifested in the technical term of manifested as that's how you get it, but actually growing, like I use the word manifested as in a growing, that things start to grow within. I mean, we are physical beings that have things that grow. I mean, we are growing consciously, and our bodies are also growing as well. So that's where the feelings are deeply connected to whatever is growing within us. The feelings are also growing, and if we allow those feelings to process by themselves, and to keep having that connection to ourselves and the sole purpose of being here, which is to actually know ourselves better and the planet, what then happens is that we can connect then to a higher consciousness, which actually shifts ourselves and the planet as well. So I hope that's answered that kind of comment. And it's like, okay, he's just said, like, must we stop and ask what is unresolved? Whatever the feeling is, will always tell you what that is. And the feeling, again, is always directly linked to to what you need to know. Now, Jean-Marie, is a planet or as a living whole, an image on a gigantic kind of sea creature made of constellations and stars, just winking at me? No. I just love that. Okay, that all makes sense. I can't tell you, especially with the work that I've done this year, how feelings are connected to everything, and they're really important. And I know that a lot of people are struggling with their feelings, and I just really want to get the message out there that our feelings are incredibly important to our evolution, and we really need to start using them. Even the concept of using our feelings, what happens is it allows us to look at them rather than just to be stuck in them. Even stuck is a feeling. Any kind of being is a feeling. And so just being really aware of our own feelings, being aware of our thoughts. Again, our thoughts are always a reaction to the initial feeling. But through my reset work, I found that feelings are always the first things, because they are deeply connected to your soul, which is trying to give you information. And then the thought is then a result of the feeling, as the logical mind, the ego, whatever we want to, the brain. I mean, there's so many levels of consciousness going on in our own heads, which makes us feel like we're going crazy sometimes, because they're all existing at the same time. And that's where it can seem like we've got all these different voices going on. Plus we do pick up on other people's energy, which you can, not only can you pick up on certain people's consciousness, but you can pick up again on the universal and the human consciousness, which, again, no wonder why people feel like they're going crazy, because there's so much going on within us. But the feelings are the key. Connecting to our feelings actually gets us out of our head and back into our bodies, and our bodies actually have a deep connection to our souls. And this is where illness and disease and what's going on physically will also tell us what's going on. I mean, recently I did use that information for myself, which was awesome. I always use situations as a blessing. There's always something to learn about ourselves. And to be honest, the recent, Viviana said, yes, feelings body, the GPS of our soul, 150%. And I don't know if you guys like can help me get the message out there. Feelings are not bad. They are important to our evolution. We need them, and they hold information. So the more we tune into our feelings, the more access we get to this deeper soul wisdom. It's not something that's just made up. It's a reality. So someone's just trying to ring me now, but I'll just keep talking and just hang up on them. And I'll call them back. So feelings are not bad, but again, I think we've been taught, well, I don't think many people really understand what to do with them. I don't know about you guys, but because there's so many different levels of thoughts and feelings that we just don't really, we're not even really consciously aware of them. And then when they come up, they feel bad. And then we don't know what to do with them. And so that's when we go into the freak out and the spiraling. But it's through that, the awareness and the consciousness that exists with knowing that we have a feeling. Then what we can do is when we have the feeling, we can then feel into it and get information from our soul, because that's where it exists. So, well, thank you, my lovely ladies, for joining in today. It's been awesome to have a chat with you. I'm going to keep doing this because I just love learning from the universe. Again, I'm just as much of an observer of this information as you guys are. So, and again, my live workshops, they're going to be just like this, except we'll be doing it in person, which will be awesome. So, Viviana says, yes, I preach this daily in my group, and whoever will listen, we are taught to keep going, to take the bull by the horns, big girls don't cry, all those colourful expressions which keep us repressing our emotions and then somatize in our bodies. So, it's my absolute pleasure. I mean, to be honest, having a chat with you guys, I know it's not in person, but it's still just honoured, and I'm so grateful that you guys are. You make me teary. I just love it. Stop it. I just love this. So, oh, look what you do to me. I just love talking to you guys, and I love these really deep conversations about everything. So thanks for making me cry, because I love you so much. And definitely I'm going to be taking these workshops. You know, I'm starting here and then moving everywhere else. Viviana, thank you for all my love hearts. Oh, and Jean-Marie, thank you for all your love hearts too. I'd love to do this with you guys in person, and to be able to have really juicy conversations about what's really going on, and, you know, learning all about ourselves. Who loves, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I love learning. It's just so much fun. Even better when you can actually do it just by having a chat. That's what I want to do. So I want to do more of that. Jean-Marie says, thank you. Oh, and I can stay a little bit longer if you've got something you want to ask. I just got a little bit overwhelmed with how much I just love everyone. if there's a little question that you want to ask, shoot, because I'm still here. I haven't gone. And if you've jumped in at this stage, oh, love you guys so much. And I mean, as I said, I know that you guys aren't here in person, but I can feel your energy. Like you just do not know. Am I too fast? What do you mean by too fast? Tell me what you mean by too fast. Is it the information, how quickly it comes through, or am I just talking too fast? It is the Aussie way. We do talk quite fast here in Australia. Actually, I love it when I speak to all my overseas friends because they love my accent. So I don't think I've got an accent, but of course, to other people, I actually do. So I love chatting to my American friends and South American and UK, all you guys. We're just so lucky to do this. Jean-Marie says speaking and writing. I'm so sorry that I go too fast. I just can't. If I don't go fast, I miss out the information, and I don't retain anything in here. Yes, I can feel you right now, Viviana. Definitely love my accent, Jean-Marie. Thank you. Our presence is in the present. It certainly is. I can definitely feel you. I'm going to answer Angie's question. I don't know what I meant to learn from everything that is going on at the moment. Actually, similar to what Viviana just said around, presence is in the present, like what is going on. So, Ange, hopefully this is going to help you, my love. Everything that's going on in the moment is all here to help you. You have like singing and sounds like a bubbly river. I just burped over that. Clearing some energy somewhere for someone. So bubbly river. Okay. I like that. That's cool. And this is, I think, Ange, what you've asked, I don't know what I meant to learn from everything that's going on at the moment. Like sometimes we can get stuck in the learning. Can I just say that? Like, I don't know if anyone else thinks that, but sometimes we get stuck in the whole learning concept and it feels like hard work. And I'm sorry, but when it feels like hard work, it actually is telling me that I need to shift my perception around it and try and look at it from a different perspective. So what I do, Ange, to help you to shift from what's going on at the moment is looking at, if you look at what's going on at the moment as like we do live in a linear world at the moment. And so when you look at the linear world and you look at what has happened before and then what's happening at the moment, can I just say, especially energetically, most people's patterns are being brought up. So usually, and this is just the energy that I'm seeing at the moment, is that patterns. I've just noticed when I do this work, my ears go red because I'm receiving information. It's like when you're on a phone. That's actually really interesting. I've never noticed that they're really hot and red. This is what happens when I receive information. That's cool. I wonder if that's continual. It's just that ear too, that was the ear that actually wasn't good when I was sick. Anyway, when you look at it from a linear perspective and then you say, okay, what's happening at the moment? I don't know what I meant to learn from it. If I can shift you from learning to experiencing, in some, I know it's a bit weird. It's because of the, I think it's because of the receiving, because I receive information, it is energy. So it's like actually, yeah, it's weird. Ever expanding, but at the same time knowing its destination. Take nice deep breaths when we receive that information. So when you look at what you're learning at the moment, we can play around with learning or we can play around with experiencing. So, and like, I want you to play around with those concepts. If the learning, if you're not learning something from something, I would actually shift your perception around learning to experiencing. And what that does is it helps you to go into the observer's role of what's actually happening, and then get you to see it from a different perspective. I like to, when we're dealing with something at the time, I like to take it out of myself and look at it like a movie. Again, there's different layers and levels of how we can do this, but, and this is just me talking, looking at this from a perception of, okay, if I'm watching a movie about what's happening, what's going on. When you look, when you watch a movie and you go, oh God, you guys should be doing this, you should do that, why are you doing that? You always get information when you're watching a movie around what people need to do. And I find that if you can do the same thing, take your life out of you and look at it like a movie. And then when you look at it like a movie, this is how I do my resets, to be honest. Like, I can reset any memory through this process. When you look at it like a movie, sometimes depending upon how attached you are to it, you can actually put different performers in there, things like that, if you really, or different actors in the movie, to get a better perception around it. But when you look at what's going on in your life like a movie, and then you ask yourself, what's really going on here? That's where you can pick up what you need to know about it. So whatever it is at the moment, and you can actually then just take it out of you, like, and look at it like a movie. And then when you do that, you'll be able to get more, like, a better perception around what's going on. And it's almost like, well, it is like that universal perception around what's really going on. When you look at things from above, they always look different to what they look like when you're in them. So this is where, and definitely I'll start being an observer. I actually recommend that we're constantly being the observer of everything, observing what's going on. And when you're observing, you're actually out of your head and you're in receiving mode. So you're receiving what you need to know about the situation when you're observing it. So definitely practice that. But in particular about this thing that you're dealing with at the moment, I would definitely it gives you instant relief when you take it out of you and you get to look at it. I kind of put it in my hands and look at it from that perspective. And then as you look at it, you can then get more information, either what you're learning, what you're experiencing, and you can ask the question, what is really going on here? And that helps you to then receive the answers of what's really going on. And you will. Yes, the bird's eye view gives you such a bigger perspective, expanded. Oh my God, I would die without it, to be honest. Thank you, Viviana. It's definitely, I remember, something recently, a pattern that had come up, and when you're in it, it's actually so hard to deal with when you're in it, unless you have the awareness that it's a thought or a feeling and you can use it to get, deeper connection to yourself. But when it's too overwhelming, it's just good to get it out of you and to look at it and get a different perspective around it. When you look at it from the external, and I'm a movie lover, so I love getting messages around movies. So by getting it out and looking at it like it's a movie that you're watching, you kind of go, what's really going on here? What roles are being played? What's this person meant to be getting from this experience? And then you get that different perspective, which actually helps you to know what to do about the next steps. You can even say, when you're looking at it from that different perspective, you can say, okay, so when I'm looking at it from this perspective, what would I recommend to that person? If I'm watching that movie and I can see that person's in this situation, what would I recommend to them? What would I be yelling at the screen to say, do this? Then you just do that for yourself. It does give you instant relief when you get it out of you. And if you think about it, all the stuff that we suppress within us, the thoughts, the feelings, the experiences, they actually eat away at us. It's not healthy, guys. We need to get them out of us. We need to look at them and start to be looking at things rather than letting them just like bottle up and sit in there. Again, we're taught to do it, but my job is to teach you a different way. And this is the way to do it, is to just get it out of you and to look at it, take some nice deep breaths, and just make it that you're observing a movie or watching. You know, if you saw this happening to someone else, you'd be full of advice as to what to do. And this is the same thing. You will actually receive, like you will receive information about what you need to do, or what that, you know, what even other people need to do around that situation. And it's actually really fun. I mean, as I said, you know, I just do this because I love learning, and definitely you learn so much about yourself when you do this, but the added bonus is that you're not stuck in it anymore, and you get a different perspective, and you get to do something different. So anyway, I hope that's helped. Oh, Eva, I can see you giving me love hearts. You've just missed the best chat ever. You'll have to join me tomorrow. Because these chats are so good, you would love them. And we've got Nicola, and we've got Luke, we've got Christine. So I could talk forever, but I'll just keep jumping in and keep having. Ange, does that actually help? I would love actually if you can share with us, with me, or whatever, how you go with that. Again, like I just love learning with you. It's just beautiful. I just love the process. So anything that you learn from it, please share. Again, not only does it help you, it helps others. And this is what we're here for, is just to share and be here together. I always say, if we were meant to be on this earth on our own, we would have been incarnated on our own. And we're so not. We're incarnated with people, and that's how we learn and grow, is from each other. So thank you guys for jumping in. I'm so grateful for you guys jumping in and sharing your thoughts, your comments, your questions. I love them. And I'm just going to keep doing this, and then if you want me to come and do it with you live, let me know, because I'm open to traveling. So and even and I'm just going to get you to see that you said, I will use this and take some time for me. I would actually say that if that's what's coming through for you, to take some time for you, that's really important, darling. Like, that's so important for your next steps, that when you take time for you, that's your first step to getting out of this. Okay. Hopefully, and it's just as simple as that. Sometimes when I connect with the universe, I say, oh, what am I need to know about this, or what do I need to do? It'll be like, go and meditate, go and have some time to yourself, go for a walk on the beach, or something really simple. And then what happens is more information comes through. You are right on track, my love. So definitely take time for you. That is how you're going to get out of this. So, or move through it, transcend, whatever it is. And again, please, everyone, keep sharing your stories and your lives, and let's just have fun together, because that's why we're really here. So love you guys, and thanks for dropping in, and I'll pop in again tomorrow. We'll have another chat and keep the conversations going. Love the conversations with the universe and with you guys, and take care. Have a great evening or a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye. Oh, got lots of love hearts.